Hi guys, welcome and welcome back again to another video. If you're seeing my face for the very first time, my name is Zena. You're welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to tell you guys how I was diagnosed of PCOS and what I did after I was diagnosed of that and my journey to getting pregnant, what I did to conceive for my first pregnancy, and for this pregnancy. So prior to the time that I was diagnosed with PCOS, I wasn't thinking about pregnancy. I wasn't even thinking about mating. Like, I did not know that I had that disorder or disease, as you might call it. And I just knew that getting pregnant was not in my agenda. And I just wanted to focus on my career, on my education. And when it is time for me to think about that, I'm gonna just get pregnant quickly, like very, very quickly. Like, I thought I was gonna be like one of those girls that we're gonna get pregnant when they do, like when they have sexual intercourse, and yeah, not knowing that it was gonna be different for me, hard for me, and what have you. So on this day, I did what they call dutching, right? Dutching, like washing inside of your VJ. That's gonna be TMI. So if you are not ready for that, please click out from this video. Thank you so much. So on this day, I did that and I felt something up there, my cervix. I knew that was my cervix because I'm a medical doctor. I haven't said that in this video, right? So when I felt that, I started panicking. So I started panicking and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, am I having cancer? Am I having cervical cancer? What's this? Is this a polyp? Is this a growth? Is this a lump? Um, like, I did not know how to think, and I'm like, yo, I need to go see a consultant, And this was right before I got married. Yeah, this was before I got married, before I did my court marriage and my traditional marriage in the year 2017. I didn't tell anyone except my mom, and I think I told my sister. I don't think I told her, but I told my mom. So we went there because my mom have this friend of hers that is a medical doctor, a consultant, um, obstetric and gynecologist, and we went to a clinic, and I told her, "Yeah, doc, this is what is happening," and she was like, "Okay, um, let me check you. Yeah, let me check you." And she told me to lay down on the consulting table, and I lay down and opened my legs, and she checked my cervix, and she was like, there's nothing to worry yourself about. There's nothing there. And I'm like, okay. And she was like, you know what? Let me check your ovaries. Let me just do a complete obstetric examination on you. And I'm like, fly on, doc. Continue what you're doing. In my mind, I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with me. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm fertile like a goat. Like, I'm fertile like a fertile state. What did I say? Like, I'm so fertile. Ain't nothing wrong with me. And the doctor, I'm out of breath, you guys. I'm out of breath. So yeah, pregnant, right? So check my ovary, and she was like, yo, your ovaries are this, your ovaries are that, your ovaries, you have multiple follicles that are filled with fluid, cysts, blah 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 blah. And of course I knew what she meant because, like I said, I'm a medical doctor. And I'm like, okay, doc, you said my ovary have this. Is it on the left or on the right ovaries? And she goes, it is on both ovaries. I'm like, okay. At this point, I started thinking about what will happen when I want to start conceiving. What's gonna happen when it is time for me to start pumping those babies out of me? Like, what will happen? What is this? And she was like, you might need to be on Clomid to get pregnant. I'm like, okay, what else, doc? And she started telling me things about you might not have the PCOS, like the syndrome, but you have the PCO, the polycystic ovary. And at this point, I kind of, like I said, I wasn't checking monitoring nothing. Like the only thing I was monitoring was my menstrual flow using an app. And that was just because I just needed to do that. And that was like a year before this happened. And and she told me this, and I'm like, okay, what are the symptoms? Because I know I don't have the issue season. I don't have acne. My face is very smooth. Don't mind this things on my face right now because I'm pregnant, so my face is filled with acne, um tags and what have you. And I knew what the symptoms are, and I knew uh, you need to have two of the symptoms to be diagnosed, right? And since you told me that I might not have the syndrome, but I have the PCO, I decided to know what my symptoms are because I see my period every single month. Like every single month, I see my period. So why do I have this? And yeah, and I'm like, okay, when it is time for me to conceive, I'm gonna come to you and get you prescribe me the Clomid and monitor my follicles and all of that. So I left the hospital. I left that clinic rather. And would I say I was worried? I don't think I was, because at least the thing that I was so much worried about wasn't it. Like I wasn't going to have cancer and all of that. Thank goodness. But I wasn't really bothered about the taking clomid to conceive and all of that because I don't know why. I just wasn't so concerned about it. And yeah, so at this point, I decided that I was going to track my menstrual cycle to know if I actually ovulate every single month, because one of the symptoms of polycystic ovarian syndrome is an ovulation. So you're not going to be ovulating every single month, right? You might be seeing your period, but you're not going to ovulate every single month. And you might not see your period for a very long time. And you need medications for you to see your period. Like I said, I'm a medical doctor, so I know all of this. So I'm like, okay, let me see. I'm seeing my period every single month. Do I ovulate every single month? I said to do that. So my sister got me this ovulation test strip, and I also got some of the cheap ones in Nigeria, and I started tracking my ovulation. And I can remember tracking it in January of 2018. Like I said, I got married in December of 2017. I started tracking it. And if you don't know, I'm in a long distance marriage. So I was tracking it to know if I'm going to ovulate. And trust me, you guys, I wasn't ovulating every single month. When you ovulate every single month and you are testing with the ovulation test strip, you're gonna know that you ovulated or you're about to ovulate when the test line is darker than the control line, right? And I wasn't getting it, and neither was I getting any other symptom like the basal body temperature, the cervical fluid discharge, and all of that. I'm like, yo, this woman was right. She was right, you know? Yeah. So I had that, and I had the multiple cyst um, follicles and polycystic ovaries, and it ticked it. You know, I didn't have any tryptophan. I didn't have um, um, hairs on my face, on my chest. Even though I'm hairy, but I didn't have significant hair growth everywhere on my body. Yeah. So I started checking, doing this test, and knowing if I'm going to ovulate. I remember that December of 2018, I started working in the hospital, and yeah, and in a year of 2018, right, I could swear that I ovulated maybe like 4 or 5 times, or even less that year. And I'm like, okay, let me just take a break, you know. Since I know now that I have an ovulation, I do not ovulate every single month. Um, it means that I need to take the Clomid to get pregnant. And yeah, in year 2018, I had my white wedding. I did not plan to take the Clomid. I just, like, okay, whatever, get pregnant or not. And I did not get pregnant. That was when I saw my husband, right? In 2019, he was to come in September, and I had gone to see my doctor, the consultant, and I told her, yo, man, I'd love to get pregnant. So can you prescribe me the medication, please? And so, like, when was the last period? I told her, "God, at this point, I started calculating my menstrual period every single month." Yeah, and then she prescribed the medication to me, told me how to take it, even though I already knew how to take it. And that was what I did. I took it every single day. And the month of September was when I told you guys that he was to come. September of 2019. That was what I did. Track my ovulation. I ovulated that day because the ovulation test strip shows that the test line was darker than the control line. So I was going to ovulate in the next 24 hours, for at least 24 hours or 48 hours. And boom, it happened. I told my husband, yo, ha, come, let's do this thing. Come, let's do this thing. What are you waiting for? So it was on that particular day I told him, I'm gonna be ovulating. I have already tested myself. We need to do this before so and so time. And he was right there on time. Though he wasn't really on time, when he was ready, because he went out to hang out with his friends and everything, but we did it. And as God may have it, or as whatever may have it, I was so lucky, favored, blessed. I got pregnant with my daughter, right? So that was what happened. And that was in 2019. I did not want to get pregnant after like a year, but because of the long distance and the disease, the PCOS, it took me a while, right? The next time we saw was in 2021. 2020 we couldn't see because of COVID. 2021 we saw, and I didn't take the medication. I'm like, I'm not ready to take this medication, but if it happens on its own, fine. 2022, I relocated. I got the medication, 2 packets, right? 2 packets. And I remember staying in the United States for 3 months or 4 months. And I remember taking that Clomid 2 times, right? I didn't want to take it for the 10 months because I knew the side effect of the medication and I didn't want that to happen to me. That didn't happen. I couldn't get pregnant in 2022. 2023, January, I did not take the medicine, neither did I track my ovulation. Yeah, but same, I the day that I thought I was going to ovulate, we didn't do anything because we were quarreling, and I just let it go. TMI, you guys. Not until the next time we were together when I moved back to the state and moved back to the state and stayed for like 3 months. I remember using the Clomid for the second month. Remember, I already knew my menstrual cycle, and because I had the ovulation test strip, I was checking my ovulation, right? And the first month I didn't ovulate, it was so clear. The second month, I would say I ovulated, I would say I did not, because the test line and the control line, they were the same color. It was so dark. So I'd say I ovulated, but the clomid did not work. And by the way, I forgot to mention that I wasn't just only on the clomid. I wasn't taking only the clomid. I was taking supplement. It is called the preconception supplement, and I believe it helped me also in conceiving my daughter and also conceiving this little baby right here. Yeah. So I did take the supplement 3 months before I conceived my first child. And for this one, I would say 3 months on and off, right? And that was how I just forgot about conceiving for the third month being in the United States before moving back to Nigeria. I just forgot about it. I'm like, whatever. They say I have peacocks. Okay, I might not get pregnant without taking the clomid, whatever. But I was taking the preconception medicine and not medicine, supplement, and my vitamins, and trying to eat healthy. I was eating taking smoothies, spinach and apple. Sometimes sometimes I make watermelon, pineapple. I was eating I would say I was eating healthy, even though I was eating junk because I love my ice cream and my pizza, but I was making my smoothie, eating my vegetables, my beetroot, and what have you, taking the preconception medicine, and I was hoping, praying for God to make me conceive because my daughter was almost 3 years old and I needed to conceive and get pregnant with my second child or for my second child, then focus on my career like I had plans. Yeah. And as God may have it, I got pregnant without the clomid. You guys must have watched uh, my story, how I found out I got pregnant, and all of that. So that was how I got pregnant with peacocks for my daughter, and how I got pregnant for this little baby right here. Yeah, so that's my story. I didn't do anything extra to get pregnant. I really don't exercise. Sometimes I take walks, but that's it. And yeah, I've never been on the big side, but I've always added weight. I would say whenever I tried to lose weight, I do lose it quickly. I'd say it kind of takes um, much effort because sometimes I do diet, intermittent fasting. I've tried the egg only diet and it worked. It worked out for me. It worked for me, and yeah, that's my story. And yeah, so it means that if you have peacocks, you can still get pregnant without using clomid to help you ovulate. Yeah, you can change your diet, eat more of vegetables and fruits. If you're on the big side, you need to um, lose weight. You need to mind what you're eating. Intermittent fasting. You can go on diet, but if you go on diet and you lose weight, you can get it back. You can gain it back when you stop the diet. If you are diabetic, you can be on medication like metformin to help control your blood sugar. I'm not diabetic. Yeah. So I think these are like few things you can do uh, to regulate your hormones for you to get pregnant, like for you to be fertile. Yeah, to help you ovulate. And I know you can take medication to help you see your period. I'm not going to talk about this as a medical doctor because I don't want to, right? I'm just talking about it as an individual and a medical doctor. So I'm not going to give you prescription for you to conceive or for you to treat your PCOS. I'm not doing that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.